All right, we're gonna see how well this works. I've got all the mics and everything I possibly can. My phone is down here recording my pedal board, so you get a reference for that. Anyway, okay. So, let's start with my guitar. This is a Partscaster. I traded this for a guitar I had. I didn't like. I didn't play at all. This is my main electric guitar. I have this one behind my head, but it's got a little gold foil pickup in it, and it's a little parlor acoustic guitar. I love that thing. Sounds awesome. But yeah, this is going to be the main guitar. It's got a nice little Filtertron in the bridge position. It sounds awesome. It's very warm, very rich. I end up using the middle position a lot, which is the blend between the two. But the Filtertron's really warm. The bridge is what you would expect from a regular Tele. So that's the guitar. It's cool. You might notice this little white thing. This is a push-pull mod that the builder put on all of his guitars. Basically, it's a tuner. And it's a bypass. So I think that's really sweet. He put it on all of his guitars, and I'm like, well, I've never seen that before. I think it's awesome. Anyway, my bass tone is going to be this guy through a compressor, through a British Joyo amp sim, and then I have an always-on reverb, usually. So I'm going to play with you what that sounds like. I actually have another reverb on, but I'm going to turn it off also. So I'll give you the signal, what it sounds, just the guitar, then through the compression and all the stuff I normally put on. So this is going to be guitar dry only, just this thing. I think it sounds pretty nice. That's the middle position. Here's the Filtertron only. Here's the bridge. Kind of a typical Tele sound. Here's with the compressor. Here's the middle position. Filtertron. Bridge. Okay, I'll put it back to the middle, and then I'm going to turn on my British amp sim, which is what I tend to leave on. It's like my clean sound. I really like it. And I'm going to kick on this reverb. It's just a little always on sort of short trail. Just something to wet it so it's not ever super dry in a mix. So that's compressor, Joyo amp sim plus reverb. Middle position. I like that a lot. Here's the bridge. Here's the neck pickup. Okay, and then I'm going to turn on this hall reverb that is another hall reverb that I usually leave on also. It's like my bass tone. As you can tell, the compressor like really gives it a lot of sustain. I like that, especially for like lead notes. The next thing I'll show you is something I use sort of here and there. It's an octave pedal, and it's mainly primarily used to sort of boost whatever lead I might have with a little extra underbelly. I usually use the dry all the way up, and then I will put the sub octave up a little bit to give it some body underneath. Sounds like this. Doesn't work great with chords. It's okay. It can just start get really muddy. Sometimes I'll put the upper octave up also, and you get sort of like a, I don't know, just a brighter upper end octave. I really wouldn't do chords when you have both of those up. It sounds like a big, giant, out-of-tune organ. But I'm going to bring the upper octave down. I don't use that super often. But it is kind of an interesting sound. I use it like a pog. A lot of worship players use the pog. And again, it just fattens up the sound. This is without it. So that's the octave pedal up there. The next thing I'll show you is I have a tube screamer down here. I love the tube screamers. I'm a big John Mayer fan, that's why. Tube screamer is like kind of a rowdy overdrive. I use it for a lot of lead stuff when I really want it to come across like almost like fuzzy, over distorted. Sounds really good with the bridge position. So that's the tube screamer. Oh, I have my delay on, I didn't realize. Here's the tube screamer again. As you can tell, very out of practice. Has a really nice sound to it. Next will be, this is a little Joyo. It's supposed to be an Analog Man King of Tone, but it's called the King of Kings. It's like a copy or a mimic of the King of Tone. I have it in two different sort of medium boost and then like a pretty heavy boost, so you can get that kind of big crunchy sound. I like this one. I use this one more often than the tube screamer, so I put it down by my foot where the foot switch is. I have a little volume pedal off to the side. You can't see, so if you're seeing me do volume stuff, it's because of that. But yeah, the Joyo one serves as like a stage 1 boost, stage 2 boost kind of a thing. So here is stage 1, the left side of that. That's with just what I have, the compressor, the Joyo, and the reverb, plus this. Then I add the second stage. So that's the Joyo kind of dual drive section. This is a little Joyo delay. Again, a lot of cheap pedals because they sound good. I use them for what I need, and I'm not super concerned about buying the name brand. I'm just going for tone. So I try them out. If I like them, I keep them. This one I got because it has a tempo tap. If you press and hold this, it turns red. And then it turns green when it saves that. So I like having that. It has as many delays that you can imagine. You have the option to save a favorite in there as well, which is nice. So I kind of have 2 preset delays at any point. that I want. And so I like that one. This is what it sounds like. I think it's at dotted eighth right now. It's a good one. It's on analog right now, but they have analog. They have just everything I could ever want in a delay. So that's why I like that one. Plus the tempo tap is my favorite feature. All right, moving on to my favorite pedal, the Line 6 M5, favorite pedal on my board. This thing is what I would call my Swiss Army knife. I put it at the end. I have a hall that it stays on when I'm not doing all the other presets, but the hall is like the stage 1. That's what I always have on. And then there's a little list that I can use the up arrow and down arrow to access a bunch of other presets that I might want to use. So I have like 4 different reverbs set there at the end, which I'll show you. And then I have a couple of just sort of ones that I use a couple times, not super often, but I have my reverbs going down the list and I have the special ones going up the list. So I kind of programmed it in a way that is easy for me to understand. Like if I go up from where my hall preset is, it's all the weird ones. If I go down, it's the rest of the reverbs or, you know, other things I've saved. So I'll just start. This is with the hall on and off. I'll show you. If you double tap the both switches, it goes into edit mode, which is nice. So I'll turn that off really quick. That's just with this little blue reverb here. Okay, here's with the hall. Which is nice. All right, I'm going to go back to my preset mode or snapshot mode. I'm going to go down and I have like a shimmer verb, which is what people use for like the Strymon big saturated kind of cathedral. There's like that extra overtone above. It's kind of like an octave, but it's not. I don't know how they do it, but this is what it sounds like. I don't have it super heavy dialed in because I don't love that too much. It sounds really fake. So that's what I use. This one is probably my favorite. This next one's called Particle Verb. And the preset, I have it at kind of like it waits for the chord to end and it kind of ducks in. So this is what it sounds like. Still going. I'll hit it and catch it so you can hear it. Feels like a big cloud being pushed at you. I love using that one for like lead stuff or like or even like dwelling stuff if I want to like if I want to swell. Because the trail stays. It's really nice. So then I might add like a delay with that. The delay feeds the reverb more and it just keeps going on and on and on. I really like that one. I'll keep the delay on and you'll hear the cave reverb. Let me turn it off actually. As you can expect, it sounds like a big old cave. Love it. Next one, I have a stereo delay. You don't need that, but it's like a dual head. Interesting. This next one it's a particle reverb like I already showed you, but the mix is dialed all the way up, so it literally sounds like a big interstellar pad, and you'll hear that. I don't use all of these per se like in service, but I do use them a lot when I'm recording, creating textures, all that kind of stuff. But I would totally use this as like a swell. Pretty awesome. If I add the delay, it'll get even cooler. It's just awesome. I love it. I'm going to stop there because I really only have a few going down. I'm going to go up to my special sort of weird effects. I have a chorus, which is really handy. It's nice. I have a tremolo, which I love to use occasionally. Yep, love that. I think this is a reverse echo. I have a filter. I have an auto swell. I don't use it very often because I have a volume pedal. And I think I have a fuzz in here. Let me see. Fuzz. I'm a big Switchfoot fan. I feel like they use fuzz a lot. So that's it. That's the overview. I'm just going to play a little bit of the kind of the tones that I might use for different things, just so you can get a feel for it. So just going to play a little bit freestyle, maybe a little bit of delay. Maybe a little bit of delay, and I'm going to put on the trem just to play around a little bit. Maybe a boost as well. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this pedalboard playthrough. Have a good one.